Hi, hey, welcome back to another edition of Pat's Personal Portraits. I'm Pat, and you know how I got to the studio? By listening to KTAR radio and hearing this guy say, it's okay to get here, and it'll only take me 4.5 hours.
That's right.
Dan Beach.
Yes, sir.
Detour Dan Beach. When people hear your voice at a convenience market or wherever it is, they recognize you, don't they?
Now and again it does happen.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy. It's not the same as being a TV guy where somebody recognizes you as soon as you, but every once, that's how I met everybody in my field, was at a meeting. And I said, hey, wait a minute, in the meeting, and everybody turns, that's Detour Dan, I know that guy.
Before you get into your car to go wherever it is that you go in the morning to begin telling us how long it's going to be for us to get to go where we're going to go in the morning, what time is that when you start?
About a little after 5:30 in the morning.
When you wake up?
I get up just a little before 5, and then I get in the truck to come to work a little bit before. It'll be like 20 to 6 in the morning, and fly till 8:30, and then do it all again in the afternoon.
How long? How long have you been doing it?
It's been 21 years now. This is doing the plane. I know.
Man.
Where did it go? Where did it go? But you know what? I don't know if it's creepy or cool, but I now have people coming to me and saying, I used to listen to your traffic reports when I was in the car with my dad. And now I'm looking at his kid, thinking, now his kid's like 3 generations here already. It's kind of spooky.
Talk about how it is that you started that fateful day, how you started doing traffic for the first time.
Prior to, leading up, or that first time behind the mic?
No, when you were a sports guy and they said, wait a minute, we need somebody to take Mike Nutzman's place.
Well, I had just left a previous radio gig that I was doing financial news, which was not my forte, but it was a start in radio, and I did that for a couple of years, and I had been trying to I thought it might be a really cool idea to fly around in an airplane and do traffic. I heard a few traffic reports, and I thought that might be something I enjoy.
But we already had a guy.
You already had a guy. And I was going to learn the whole skills behind it, how the business runs. And I was actually being hired to learn how to run a business and maybe open an office in another market. And just 2 days later, KTAR's Mike Nutzman had that unfortunate accident, and somebody had to get back in the plane the next day on Monday, and that just happened to be me.
The helicopter crashed. We lost Mike, but we gained a Detour Dan. When you were walking across the stage to get your high school diploma, where was that?
Bourbonnais, Illinois, BBCHS, part of a town, just like we have Tempe, Mesa, and Phoenix. Back there it's Kankakee, Bradley, and Bourbonnais. Only it's about 60 miles south of Chicago, fairly rural, a lot of corn, and not much else.
Okay, so the principal or somebody hands you the diploma. You open it, and it says, you want to be a what?
I wanted to be a play-by-play sports guy, but I never ever thought that was possible. People don't get to do what they want to do.
Well, who were the guys you listened to, though? In Kankakee, you were listening to Chicago?
I was listening to Chicago. There were 3 particular people. Probably the guy that I always talk about most is Brett Musburger, because Brett Musburger, when I was a little kid, he saw the way the NFL was handling what they did on television, and he wrote a letter, according to my dad. He wrote a letter to the network and said, man, you guys just don't know what you're doing. This is not fun. It's not exciting. And they said, oh, yeah, you think you can do better? And he said, yeah, I know I can. And they put him on the air, and it was Brett Musburger and the guys, Irv Cross and Jeannie, I forget her last name, but that crew kind of set the tone for what we've seen for the last 30 years now. It's been fantastic. That is what I wanted to do. That turned me on.
So you go up in the morning, and you spend how much time in the air the first shift?
About 2.5, 3 hours in the morning and about 2.5 hours in the afternoon.
You take a nap sometime in between?
I have to do that in midday.
With all that air time, you ever been scared in the airplane?
A few times, but no more than you are behind the wheel when you almost got in a head-on crash or somebody was coming at you. No different than that, really.
When were you most afraid?
Many years ago, a brush fire on the south side of South Mountain. I was asked by the station to go take a look at it, and as we flew into South Mountain, we began to drop altitude and to where we drop below the ridge of the mountain, and that's not good when you want to get to the other side. So we decided to do a U-turn. And when we did the U-turn, it continued to pull us down. It was the draft from the smoke and fire on the other side, and we made it out. I'm still here, but that was a scary moment. You could see the cactus and some of the needles on them.
Some people right now who are just about to get in their car, give them a tip about what to do to drive safely so they don't run into me or you.
A, buckle the seatbelt. B, turn off that phone. And C, make sure you check out my traffic report so you know where not to get in trouble.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. This is KTAR.com. He's on KTAR News Talk 92.3, huh?
Thank you for having me too, Pat.
Oh, you betcha. This is the Detour Man, Dan Beach. You know why I made him Pat's personal portrait this time around.